Hello Void, day 11, and we're back to Tubi. And, well, it finally happened. In my randomizations, we finally rolled up to one that we'd already recorded. And actually, it was one from around this time last year, so it was almost a year to the date on it. So, Sleepaway Camp is what came up, but, well, I've already talked about Sleepaway Camp, so I just went to the next one over and went with that, which gave us the original Hills Have Eyes. Right on. Okay. Now, I'll be honest. I'll admit it. This is going to sound a little strange considering everything we've been through over the last year, all the movies you've seen me talk about, and me, at some point, I'm sure, talking about my love of Wes Craven. I haven't seen this film before. I know. I know. It's one I've been meaning to see, one I knew I should have seen. I just hadn't found a decent chance to. I mean, I usually, for movies like that, usually when I encounter them in a used place in the wild, I pick them right up. Just never stumbled across an original copy of Hills Have Eyes. I mean, yes, I've seen the remake. I've seen and owned both the remake and the sequel to the remake, but I just, for whatever reason, never stumbled across a copy. And like I'd seen it like on some streaming services, but when I was glancing at it, it just wasn't the time to watch it. So, well, finally got to it. Okay, and yeah, I I enjoyed it. Now, I would normally this is a movie I'd prefer to do a back and forth like I'd been doing on original and remake, but I'm not going to really get the chance to talk about this one until the remake on this one until much later. And I can't say I'm going to get a chance to write off, so I'll touch on a little bit of the differences here. But now, it's not a mark against against this version at all. I did enjoy it. I liked what they were trying to do. They accomplished a lot of it. Part of me liked the remake a little better. Not. Hear me out. Hear me out. That's a few things that kind of tipped me on that one. I did not dislike this movie, and I acknowledge that this one's definitely a better overall film than the Andre Aja 2006 remake. This one hails from the 70s, and, well, like I said, I enjoyed it. Let's get that out there first. Wes Craven's direction, great. The acting in particular in this one is very well done. So, it's a very basic premise, but that's all you really need for this type of horror movie. Family is traveling through the desert. They're on their way to California. They don't listen to the gas station attendant who tells them to just keep straight on going and don't take any detours. They take a detour and wreck their car, and then are set upon by bloodthirsty, deformed hill people. Okay. And after being preyed upon for a while, they take matters into their own hands and fight back. Okay, yeah, so I did enjoy this one. Now, I will say, since I'd seen the original first, I had a few other expectations that going into this weren't exactly met. Now, first off, the main difference is the nature of the deformed hill people. In the remake, it's clear that it's from living too close to a nuclear testing zone and make it so like they were supposed to have people who are supposed to have evacuated but didn't and have been living in fallout for a long time and have been horribly deformed because of that. In this one, the origin's a bit different. In fact, most of them are not really all that deformed at all, except for Papa Jupiter, who's just got some bad scarring on his face, and he's really, really big. This one, it's they still do kind of work the nuclear angle in there a little bit. It seems to be because they've been living close to a place where they may have tested some nuclear things. The gas station attendant's son was born deformed and violent, so eventually he was just abandoned out in the hills, and now after being hacked in the face, but he survived and now has raised his own family. Well, in the remake, it's unclear exactly how they're all related, or it seems like they're residents of a town, so that's more of just a group rather than just one family. But because of that, this one you do see more of the family dynamic, which of these people, which I was interested in seeing. So that was a mark in this one's favor, definitely, particularly how they handled the character of Ruby. Ruby in the remake was fine, but this one really excelled. The actress was great for her, and you really felt for Ruby in this, and you wanted to see her escape. Now, I will say the family traveling across, they were fine, but they were very united, I guess. It was unrealistic for how well this family got along after traveling so long on a distance. The remake, I think, captures that a little bit better of having some tension amongst the family members. But in this one, it wasn't, like, distracting or by any means. And I was expecting a lot more gore because of the other one, but that was probably just my own fault of having watched an Alexandre Aja version first. The gore effects are more minimalized in this one, similar to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but when they are there, they are effective, particularly some of the wounds that they show close up. Now, yes, it is very effective in that regard. So, for the most part, this one is stronger than the remake in a lot of cases, though, particularly in the acting department and just for how particularly the characterizations for the hill people. You actually get their individual personalities amongst multiple ones, other than just they were very generic in the remake, I will say that. But getting into spoiler territory here, because in order for me to talk about what I disliked in this one, and we're gonna have to talk about the ending. Because that's what I wasn't on board with in this one, was the ending. Now, this one just kind of ends. So, if you're worried about spoilers, end here. I'll just say it. I'm giving this one 3 MacGuffins. It should have been 4 MacGuffins, but the ending knocked it down to 3 for me. I wanted to rate this one higher, but I couldn't. Now, this one just ends. Like, suddenly. They're pretty much most of the hill people have been killed. There's just one left. Who was chasing them, trying to get the baby, trying to kill Ruby, and trying to kill the father of the child. And, well, father is able to get the drop on Mars, knocks him over, kills him, and then boom, smash cut to red, we're done. I was just like, but really, like, wait, what? That's where we're ending? Like, I could see some artistic merit in the ending right there. Is like, now, okay, he's become as violent as the hill people, which is kind of what both these movies say, is extreme circumstances can bring out extreme reactions in people, and it's kind of an us becoming them kind of thing. Okay, I get that. But there's still a lot of unresolved issues here, even saying that this is all sort of wrapped up. Because, okay, first off, there's still Mama back in the cave. Yeah, I don't know if she's mobile enough to actually be a threat, but she's still there. And also, they're still stranded in the middle of the desert with a broken car. I would like a little resolution on how they're getting out of that, you know? And what are they going to do with Ruby? I'd like a little epilogue with Ruby. I really liked her as a character. I want to know what they were doing. They don't answer that. From what I did a little reading, and apparently they did actually film a longer ending, where they actually do either go back, are able to either get their car working enough, or they're able to get like an additional vehicle from like a gas station attendant and are able to ride off with and they take Ruby with them. I would have been fine with that ending, but they deliberately hacked it off just to paint it as more of an uncertain and bleak ending, which I would have preferred the one that they cut, to be honest, and that's what kind of knocked this one down to a 3 for me. The remake, I'd have to see it again to give it an official rating, but I think it still would be in the 3 category anyway. This one should have been a 4. I love Wes Cravens. This is one of the ones that really helped get him out there, and I was excited to see it, but I was with it through 90% of this one, but just so yeah, 3 MacGuffins for The Hills Have Eyes. Well, I'm gonna be moving on back to Shudder, so we'll see what the dice gods give me on that one. Have a good night, and see you guys tomorrow.